Hi everyone, welcome back. I just thought, I was just thinking just before I went to bed, I was just, I watch after I'm done streaming and stuff. I just watch a little bit of TV and stuff to just kind of mellow out, and then you go to bed and just, just kind of get some quiet time and some relaxing from the day. And now, of course, the new show I haven't seen all 8 episodes of the new Willow show. I think I've seen 4 or 5. I think it may be 5. Spoilers, because I will say where I'm at, and so then you'll know where I'm at if you've watched it too. Because they've gotten, let's see, where are they in the show? Jade has just found out about her sister. They had that party with all that truth food. It's now kind of broken up, and you finally see the brother where he's at some kind of like dry wasteland or something like that. Anyways, like, I mean, the new Willow's okay. It's not bad. I'm not totally hating it. I'm not totally enjoying it, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out where I am. And it like when they first started telling the story, they kind of take you back a little bit, of course, and give you like the backstory on who Sorsha, Willow, Mad Mardigan, Laura Donnan, everybody is. And so, like, after they get done finally talking about Laura Donnan, and the first scene they show you in the modern days is Kit and Jade fighting. So, like, in my mind, like, I automatically thought that Jade was going to be a Laura Donnan. And I didn't know, I had no idea who Kit was. Then they kind of, like, threw a wrench in that by... It was a good and a bad wrench. So then you get to meet the brother and the naive girl he's rolling in the hay with today. And when she actually, I knew there was something about her the second she approached that barrier and went through it. And I didn't exactly go, oh, she's a Lord Dannon, but I was sitting there going, she's magic, okay? I'm like, I don't know why I didn't figure it out, but like I immediately was like, she's gonna go through that barrier, and that's gonna mean something. And she did. We shortly after that get revealed that this young roll in the hay is Laura Dannon, which that wrench kind of doesn't fit for a couple of reasons. Okay, so Jade, you later on find out she's the daughter of the guy that Mad Mardigan killed, that was Bavmorda's head, like, lynch guy. And you find out he actually fathered several children, and she's one of them. And the problem is the age. So that should put Jade, just a little bit older than a Laura Dannon? And that should put a Laura Dannon a couple of years older than Kit and her brother, at least a couple of years. Because you're like, okay, well, how long after Willow did Sorsha and Mad Mardigan get married, move into the castle, have kids? And so that kind of backstory is kind of a little foggy right there, because is Laura Dannon the same age as Mad Mardigan's kids? Because that makes no sense. Because then that means Sorsha got pregnant before the end of the movie Willow, to put them that close in age, because Laura Dannon still has to be older than Mad Mardigan's kids, at least by a year. It never says how old the baby exactly is in the movies. It's a baby. But I kind of bothered me that, I mean, it's really hard what's going on with Val Kilmer nowadays. They wanted him back for Maverick or Top Gun or um and he did get like a 5 minute cameo. I heard. I haven't seen the movie yet. I want to. And this one he chose not to cameo in at all, not even for 5 minutes, which I would have took 5 minutes. Like him just leaving the castle on a mission at the very beginning and everybody saying goodbye to him, and then crap going down after he leaves, and then like, oh crap, dad left on a mission, what do we do? Because now dad's gone, we can't get to dad, and now it's up to us, and maybe we'll find dad along the way, which opens up a bigger role for Mad Mardigan to step in season 2, if like Val Kilmer says he might, because Val Kilmer's trying to leave it open in case he does decide to step back into the role. But it's very confusing. Like, what would you like Mad Mardigan's backstory to be? Because right now it's really confusing. They're like, how long has he been gone? Looking for, and this is the glitch in the story. So apparently Mad Mardigan is gone looking for an armor that him and Borman know about. That of course you know. So he's been gone for what, over a decade looking for this armor that Borman and Kit are going to find in a couple of episodes. So if Borman and Kit can find it that quick, why couldn't Borman and Mardigan 15 years ago find it that quick? Because Borman followed the same knowledge he had now as he did then when he first went in pursuit of the armor with Mardigan. So this is not it doesn't feel like he's got a very credible backstory.
Mom, where's the chocolate donuts?
I feel like they could have been more like I would have liked to see more of a backstory, like Mad Mardigan didn't leave for some BS reason and leave his kids for 10-15 years for like a suit of armor or something. And more like, okay, he's been there, but maybe he just went off on a journey right before all this went down. Or he's been gone for a year and he's due back soon. They don't know when, but maybe they'll find him along the road. I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of for Mad Mardigan to, as Sorcha's husband is the king, Sorcha being more the rightful heir, to stay behind the kingdom, and Mardigan being the warrior, to leave on the missions, but still be there to raise his kids, but do the occasional mission. And so I just been kind of thinking about, like, that's the biggest thing that's been bothering me about Willow, this new Willow season. It's not so much anything much else in the storyline. It's the poor backstory Mardigan got. The age of the kids don't match up. Laura Dannon should be just a little bit older. She shouldn't be some naive teen girl romping in the hay with the prince that looks either same age as her or just barely older than her. Unless she's really young. I mean, that happens. She could be a really young looking princess, you know. Magic could keep her be looking real young. Because she's... I didn't expect that flip of... I mean, I knew she was magical when she went... I knew she was going to go through that barrier. And I knew she was magical, but I didn't see the flip happening that they were gonna make her Laura Dannon, and it just because the age just didn't sit well. Did the age sit well with you? Did the age? Should comment below what you think. What would be a fun story? Why Mad Mardigan's not there? His kids don't have to be mad at him in that they grew up without him. They don't have to be these. Because it seems like right now what's going on in the storyline is Mardigan left over a decade ago. Nobody knows where he's at, what he's doing, why he's gone, when he's going to be back, if he's ever going to be back. He abandoned his family, and it just seems like Saoirse really hasn't really cared what's going on. All she cares about is that Laura Dannon stays hidden, Willow stays in his village, and because she didn't even seem to do I mean, I don't like that her daughter pulled a whole Merida thing. Oh no, I'm gonna fight for my hand in marriage kind of thing. Like, that's the only thing that bothered me in the story. It was like, you're like going, okay, here's the Merida moment. Here's Princess Merida's moment. She's gonna fight for her own hand. Now, I don't see it as a bad storyline that her betrothed is falling in love with Laura Dannon. That's actually kind of an interesting side story, I think. I think they did a nice job right there with this subtle him and his fascination with all things Laura Dannon. I think that's great. Okay, hurry up and go, baby girl. Once again, it's just supposed to be a fantasy magical show where crazy magic takes over. I mean, it seems like that there's no even separation of, or like there's no like what happened to the big town full of dakinis and would I can't remember how to pronounce what Willow's called, like what his race is called, and then the eat brownies, even littler dudes, and like there's this whole land and forest full of all kinds of creatures to come across. And it just seems like it's just boiled down into a regular kingdom. All magic is gone. And they just keep telling the story of Laura Dannon over and over again. Even though I think if Saoirse had her way, they would just keep it going like that. The story would just keep running like that. Like, they would just live in a land of myth and memories and I mean, during like the first episode, the whole betrothment party and everything, I feel like everybody's taking on Tyrion Lannister's attitude of just getting drunk and being bored at another event. And nothing's major going on except for to show that Kit's a good player. 1 minute she's with Jade, Next minute, she's acting like she's getting betrothed. Then the next second, she's taking her own fate in her own hands, and she's gonna just do her own thing. And it flips a lot with Kit in the first episode of the season. And this rush story of everybody running around and quickly mentioning Mad Mardigan's name. It's like, let's hurry and get his name out of the way. Let's hurry up and mention your father, get his name out of the way, and we'll discuss everything else. I was so excited a year ago when I saw Warwick Davis bring up that little teaser of everybody sitting down at a picnic table having lunch, all the actors, and they're like, oh, there's going to be this great grand Willow adventure. We're all back, and, here's everybody back. Here's all the new cast, and we're going on this grand adventure, which is not totally bad. I mean, I think they portrayed Olora Danan learning magic very well. I mean, you see she gets frustrated. You see that she fakes out that she doesn't want to do magic anymore, but she runs off by herself, and she just, so much pressure's coming down on her from herself, from everybody around her, from the intimidation of needing to be what Willow needs her to be, even though I don't think there's much pressure coming down from Willow, kind of, but the pressure to speak the words right, which she's trying so hard to repeat literally everything he's saying, and those words are kind of hard. It would have been good if Willow had just showed her the written words and kind of phonetically, let's phonetically touch each syllable, like you would teach a young child. Let's phonetically touch each syllable, and okay, good, got it. Okay, now say it on your own without having to slowly phonetically touch each thing. But I still think they portrayed it really well, because I think, in a way, if I had to learn magic, like, oh my gosh, right away, because I was supposed to be learning this all my life, and now I gotta finish it by the end of this journey. It's like, oh crap, I gotta finish all this by the end of this journey. It's like, how long is this journey gonna take again? But I mean, I wish they could have fit Val Kilmer in even for like 5 minutes or something. Like I said, either saying goodbye, leaving on a trip, or maybe just hold up doing kingly duties. Maybe even portray him that maybe even incorporate his real life, what's going on with him into the show. I mean, I could say something really mean right now, or not really mean. It's not really mean, but I don't know. It's probably not mean, but it's just like, just straight up truth in a way, like. But I mean, I don't know the conversation the exact conversation the directors had with Val Kilmer, and why he didn't come back for even like a small cameo to say, yes, I'm Mad Mardigan, I'm still here. Because I think they could have, just like they did in Top Gun 2, they could have incorporated what was going on with him into the show. It would have been nice to see them incorporate, just find a way to incorporate it, just so he's still there, advising his children, and because people have complained that Mad Mardigan's son is kind of dim-witted and everything, and they've kind of dumbed his character down a little bit, and like, this is Mad Mardigan's son. Where's that fire? Where's that spirit? This is and so, like, but instead they basically said, okay, well, he didn't raise him. Look, he didn't get raised by his father. But like I said, I think they could have come up with a little bit of a better backstory. I mean, what's your idea of a good backstory? Where is he now? Why isn't he around? Has he always been around for his kids? Where'd he go? Because they didn't want to say he's dead in the first season because they want to leave it open in case he says, yeah, in the second season, here I am. They might find him along the way. Like, they're journeying home now. Because now they in 8 episodes, they've journeyed there. Now they got to journey home. And they just might find their father on the way home. But, so they're going to have a reunion on the road after, 15 years of not seeing him. Like I said, it would have been better if they said he'd only been gone for a year. And it's like, oh, Dad hasn't come home yet, but we got to handle this because we don't know when Dad's going to be home. And we can't wait for Dad to get home. Or, Dad just left on a mission and it's too late to catch up to him. Maybe we'll catch up to him on the road somewhere and he can join us. Instead of over some magical armor that was going to be found, like I said, by Borman and Kit within just a few small episodes. Why is he spending over a decade looking for this armor that him and Borman were trying to look for years ago, didn't find it? How come all of a sudden, over 10 years later, Borman can find the... Just when Kit's in need. And it's like, yeah, of course, right? Just because the story called for it. But I don't know, give me your ideas of what you think should his backstory be. Make it so do you think Val Kilmer will come in for season 2? Do you think there is a season 2? Do you think maybe Val Kilmer was just like, let's wait and see and I'll come in if there is a season 2? Maybe Val Kilmer was just like, wait, give me a minute. He's like, keep my name alive and if there's a season 2, I'll see you then, Maybe Val Kilmer was smart about the whole situation and just said, you know what? If there's a season 2, and he's given a chance because he knows everything lately that Disney's been putting together is falling apart. And so this is just another Disney Plus thing that people are complaining is falling apart. What?
Time for the brown.
And so... why come back with his health concerns and everything? Why come back if it's just going to fall apart anyways? So it's like, okay, well, I'll be there in season 2, 3 if it picks back up and things get better. But are people so mad at Disney that it's there's no way they can redeem themselves, even if they tried really hard to fix everything in season 2. They're just so branded now that there is Disney way too branded now as being a too bad of a company, too political, too woke. I mean, there is a little bit of politics and wokeness in, and I haven't seen the last episode, but I heard also current day music, which was a little upsetting because it just doesn't seem like something Willow would do. Anything that would, be up with the times like that, like having music put in like that. You know, I need to finish the series. I'm going to finish the series just because, one, I'm hoping that it's not as bad as I'm hearing. Two, I'm hoping that I do find some semblance where I do like it, understand it, whatever. And three, I have a hard time, unless it's really that bad, finishing it. And so far, like I said, there's been a few little discrepancies I've seen in Willow, but nothing so far as to, like the scene with the little brownies. I understand he's getting old. He's not going to want to go off on adventures and stuff like that. But it was good that he cameoed at least. At least the brownie cameoed. Made a cameo. I mean, it was good to see little things here and there like that. And so, oh, that's an interesting shark one. I am gonna finish it. I just forgot about it while I was sick. I should have watched it while I was sick. That's a show I should have thought about. Instead, I was binging DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And let me tell you, okay, that show did not get canceled because it's wokeness or anything. It got canceled because it was tripping over itself and lost a storyline. Like, spoilers if you haven't seen Legends of, and I'll give you one spoiler. What's killing it for me is I hate it. Like, stop it. What's her name? Okay, so Damien Dark, back and forth. Hero, villain, hero, villain, hero, villain. Same with his daughter Nora. Hero, villain, hero, villain, hero. Loses powers. Then, I don't know, I fell asleep for a couple episodes and she was gone. I mean, the show started losing storyline and stuff when Nora started losing her powers. When Damien couldn't stay consistent on being good or bad. And then all of a sudden aliens come into it. The captain gets abducted by aliens. And one of them is the annoying assistant Craig? Or Greg? And it turns out he's been an alien for 2 years? We didn't know? I mean, you want to talk about why it got canceled. It had nothing to do with people canceling shows because they got it started out with two characters that were LGBTQ. from the very beginning. No one said anything. Its ratings only went up because it had a story. It had a steady bad guy and a steady story. When Sharp first took over, the storyline was a little bumpy because her girlfriend that worked for the government was a little wishy-washy on, you don't know when she opens the portal if she's good or bad. If she's on the side of the legends or if she's on the side of the government, or if the government's now on their side, and it was a little wishy-washy. And that's where the wishy-washiness came in. It wasn't because they had these two female leads that were in love. That's not why the show got canceled. It's because the story got lost in too much love. Constantine, they brought him in. That was a crazy thing to do, I thought. But now he's just infatuated with this girl. And that's the storyline, is everybody's infatuated with some love interest. And we've lost track of the storyline except for there's an alien out there that's got the captain trapped. Like, that's our biggest storyline, is Craig has been an alien for 2 years. And they're trapped on a planet. It went from having hero-villain dynamic to party, love, rock and roll, la la la. Where'd the storyline go? You're like, where'd the storyline go? You know? And so that's why, in my opinion, I'm in the, I think, end of season 6. Why I'm finishing it out, because that's kind of sometimes what I do. I've already invested this much in it. I don't like to just try and imagine how it ends or whatever. I gotta finish it the way the writers wrote it. And it's just, I'm just having a hard time finding where the story is, where the storyline is. I mean, it's all over the place. It's just all over the place. I mean, hardly any of the original characters, any of the original legends are there. I mean, right off in the first season, they get rid of one of them. And then they get rid of her. And like, when everybody just kind of, you got what, Mick? Rip isn't even there anymore. He's been kicked off his own ship.
Mom!
What?
What's 8 minus 20?
They never even cared enough about Rip to give him his own ship back. What?
Look.
38 minus 20 is 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
What's the 18 look like?
1 8.
1, 8?
Yep.
1.
And so, in my opinion, that's why the show's getting canceled.
Yes!
It has nothing to do. Yeah, I watched this one woman's video, and she was talking about how they're canceling a lot of these shows because, two strong female leads that are. And it's like, no. That's been going on for multiple seasons now. No one's cared. What? 22. 2. And so, yeah, it's when you lose your storyline and things are just all over the place. Nobody can keep track of anything anymore. What's going on, or is there even a straight villain?
Mom,
What? 15 minus 17 is like 2, I think.
2?
Yeah. And so, yeah, I just...
No!
I don't know, Aurora, you didn't show me the problem. Here, it's really hot in here. I need to go get some air, but tell me what you think of,
Mom,
how
Mom.
Willow is treating Mad Mardigan's backstory and stuff. What? What?
Look.
I don't want to do math. It hurts my brain. It really does. I think they could have been a little more creative. I think they could have got a little more creative and not so fast paced with it. It's like the first episode, they just rushed to get all the heroes introduced and out the door to meet Willow. And then it's weird because when you first meet Willow again, you don't know if he became that true sorcerer that he said he was, or if he's just faking it again or something, because you're just kind of wondering, is he really powerful? Is he really? Don't know. But I think they could have done better. I think they could have got a little bit more creative and maybe put a little bit more of Mad Mardigan in his son. Make him a little bit more braver and courageous. Like, you obviously can tell he did grow up without his father, so they did that right. They gave him a storyline that he grew up without his father. You can tell he's a kid that grew up without his father. But I think they could have changed that and brought Laura Dannon in a different way instead of just the next naive girl rolling in the hay with the prince. And oh my gosh, it so happens to be a Laura Dannon. Because, thank gosh, it wasn't just any bakers. Any kind of just young little baker that could walk through a magic barrier like that. So let me know in the comments what you think. How did you watch Willow? How are you liking Willow? I'm going to finish it. Maybe I'll come back on and see how I like it or not. Let me know if you want me to come back on after I finish the series and see what I think of how it's going, and if they do it too, what they should do or if they shouldn't, or just leave alone. You know, if you bring back a cult classic, there's a huge chance you're gonna ruin it. So just leave it alone. You did an okay job. It wasn't that bad. I don't think it was that bad. You did a pretty good job, but any more and you might ruin it. So it's like let's just leave Willow alone. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go get some air. It's kind of getting a little hot.